The hour of, let's call it 9:50 has arrived. It is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. And I'd like to call the Kane County Board meeting to order. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Ellen?
Allen, present. Good morning.
Good morning. Bates? Here. Berman?
Berman here.
Brown here.
Davis?
Davis here.
Ford?
Ford present.
Davis Fry's here.
Gums?
Gums here.
Iqbal?
Iqbal present.
Kenyon?
Here.
Caius?
Caius present.
Kopi?
Hope is present.
Leonard?
Leonard here.
Lewis?
Lewis here.
Martin?
Martin present.
Molina?
Molina present.
Sanchez?
Sanchez present.
Shepro?
Shepro present.
Silva?
Silva is here.
Strathman?
Strathman here.
Surgis? Pepe?
Pepe here.
Wallace? And Wanicki.
Present.
Okay, you have a quorum.
Very good, thank you.
Correct.
Very good, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I believe Ms. Gums, are you online?
I am online, yes.
And you are going to be leading the pledge and the convocation.
Very good. I was ill prepared for this. I must be honest. I thought it was November. Anyways, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everybody. I would just like to open with prayer. I know we have a lot of loss going on right now. I pray that everybody on this board uses their heart, their soul, and their critical thinking going forward in representation of all county visitors and residents. Thank you.
Now, may I please have a motion and a second to approve the March 22nd, 2022 minutes and the April 12th, 2022 minutes?
Caius move.
Thank you, Mr. Caius.
Wonicki.
Thank you, Ms. Wanicki. Are there any changes or comments to these minutes? Seeing none, hearing none. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Ellen?
Allen, aye.
Bates?
Here, yes.
Berman?
Berman, yes.
Brown?
Brown, yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Ford?
Ford, yes.
Fraz?
Fraz, yes.
Gums?
Gums, yes.
Iqbal?
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon?
Yes.
Caius?
Caius, yes.
Kopi?
Hope, yes.
Leonard?
Leonard, yes.
Lewis?
Lewis, yes.
Martin?
Martin, yes.
Molina?
Molina, yes.
Sanchez?
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro?
Shepro, yes.
Silva?
Silva, yes.
Strathman?
Strathman, yes.
Mr. Surgis, did you arrive?
I am here, but I'm really struggling with my internet. So yeah, I vote yes.
For the
If you
minutes?
can hear me?
Yes, thank you. Tepe?
Pepe, yes.
Wallace? Mr. Wallace, did you
Wallace.
arrive?
Yes, Wallace, yes.
Thank you. And Wanicki?
Yes.
Okay, passes.
Okay, very good. So we have everybody here now, correct? Very good. It is now time for public comments. I believe we have a Kate Bodke. Would like to come to the podium? Oh. And is this on agenda or off agenda?
It's on the American Rescue Plan.
Okay,
On
very good.
agenda.
3 minutes, please.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, it's
I get 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry, 5.
I probably only take 3. When I saw the American Rescue Plan on the agenda, I had to look it up. And this is classic Hegelian dialectic. Cause the problem, trigger the emotional reaction, and deliver your solution, which is never good for we the people. It only benefits those in power. Just look at the cover of the document, the American Rescue Plan, muzzled children. This plan is no different than Cash for Kids. Sell out the children and community for cash. The American Rescue Plan is blood money. It acknowledges the massive harm that's been done. I've had friends and neighbors die. Many of you may have also. I have a 28-year-old woman neighbor who is passed, not from the virus, but from the government's heavy-handed response. It was never about health or welfare. It was always about power and money, control over the population by private corporations pretending to be public offices. Oh, and depopulation. Those at the top of the pyramid have made that very clear. That's been and continues to be a top priority of theirs. That's how technocrats and Satanists think. They're God, they believe. Either their power and money stolen have gone to their heads, or they're just psychopaths. So the rest of us are supposed to follow orders from psychopaths because the people we supposedly elected to represent us are following orders and protecting the psychopaths instead of we the people. Do you have any idea what forcing children to wear masks all day has done to their health and well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, academically, and socially? From day one, children have been essentially zero risk of death or long-term damage from any coronavirus. So let's muzzle them all in return for millions of dollars that we'll get to spend? Aren't sheriffs supposed to protect we the people from violations of the only legitimate Constitution of the United States for America and violations of our civil rights? Title 18 of the US Code, a Declaration of Independence guaranteed protections of our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So what's wrong with this picture? The late Italian dictator Benito Mussolini is quoted as saying, fascism should rightly be called corporatism, the merger of corporate and government power. You seem to be practicing corporatism right here and now. You're pretending to be a body of government. Maybe you can explain why the county of Kane is registered as a corporation by Dun & Bradstreet. You aren't public servants. You aren't servants of the public. You're servants to the corporation. And we the people are suffering the consequences. Have a nice day.
Mr. Bertha, I know that you have signed up to speak, but at this time, I'm not going to be recognizing you. Our public comment is we have to make sure that our remarks are not disruptive nor offensive to the county board. I saw the title of your presentation. I found it highly disrespectful, highly offensive, and you will not be recognized.
I don't see him.
So it's my turn to speak. Yesterday, I had the opportunity, and I haven't done this in a very long time, take a small holiday. And on the way back, instead of taking interstates, I decided to turn off and ended up at the very beginning of Route 47. Is it on? Is that better? There you go. Route 47. And as I'm driving, I'm noticing the increase of traffic. I'm noticing the increase of truck traffic. I'm noticing the population growth starting in Morris. And I was stuck behind a truck for a very long time, which gave me pause to think about the truck traffic that's happening. When I got past Morris, once again, went down to a smaller lane, and then I ended up in Yorkville. And Yorkville has expanded greatly. Lots of new homes, lots of new shops, lots of new opportunities. And then finally, I got into Kane County and I saw Calamity Janes and I smiled. And then I got to thinking that as our population changes, as our industry changes, so too Kane County must reflect on what's going to be happening to itself for the next few years. And I'd like to take inspiration for all of us at the board to mirror our actions on what the Transportation Department is doing, to take a look at their long-term plans where they go 5, 10, 15, almost 20 years out, to do the planning, to make sure that we have the appropriate resources, financial and built resources to provide for our growing and diverse population and changing population, whether it's going to be new warehouses with trucks and how we accommodate those, children with schools, remote learning senior centers, our farming communities. Absolutely. So these are challenges that I want to present to us. I know oftentimes, and I know this is an election cycle, and there's going to be another election cycle and another election cycle, that sometimes we think just towards that short-term election. But here as a board, again, I challenge all of us to think long-term, to think what's best for the county, not just up to November, but let's take a look what's best out for it for the next 3 years and 5 years. Because I know we're all going to be, some of us are all going to have an opportunity to work with each other after the election. Some of those elected officials will continue on after that. But the basis of what we put together, our strategic plan, is going to be an understanding, a mutual understanding of where we need to go further. So that's what I learned on my trip home. So it was a very lovely vacation. And a very well-needed vacation too. So now, as I said, we have heroes in our midst. And we always welcome recognizing our heroes. So I'd like to turn this meeting off to Sheriff Kane.
We've been doing this a lot over the last 6 months, recognizing deputies and some heroic citizens for their work. And I would like to say it's an anomaly, but what we've seen is just an incredible effort, not just by my staff, but by citizens to come together in the betterment of public safety for our community. So I'm going to first ask to come to the podium Deputy Matt Drab, along with Jose Bosque Jr. and Jose Bosque III, please. On March 9, 2022, Deputy Matt Drab was on patrol alone in the Elgin area when he attempted to stop a vehicle for a traffic violation. The vehicle sped off and a chase ensued for a short time until the vehicle crashed. The driver then fled on foot while making numerous furtive movements into his waistband. As Deputy Drab pursued on foot, still without other police support, he drew his taser, gave verbal commands, then deployed the taser, briefly incapacitating the offender. A struggle then ensued, and the offender was able to grab a hold of Deputy Drab's taser. The two began to struggle over the weapon until Deputy Drab was able to regain control. However, attempts to place the offender in custody continued. Citizens in the area, Jose Bosque Jr., Jose Bosque III, observed the deputy in distress and came to his aid by helping to restrain the offender while Deputy Drab handcuffed the offender. Without their aid, Deputy Drab may have incurred a serious injury during the event and the offender may have escaped. Thank you very much to the Bosque family. The Bosques with the official resolution, and also we have an award forthcoming for you, a nice statue for you both. So sorry we couldn't have it here today for you. Thank you very much. Thanks a village. We appreciate you. Yep. Pat, you want to come in?
We'll take a vote afterwards.
We also have a Meritorious Service Award for Deputy Drab for his efforts to bring this violent offender into custody. It's fun to see. I've known Jose Bosque Jr. as an activist in the Elgin area for quite some time. And when I read his name on that report, I said, I am not surprised one bit.
You're right.
Next, I'm going to call up to the podium ComEd worker Michael Curtis and Deputy Stephen Tercios and Deputy Ryan Reichardt, please. On Tuesday, March 29th, 2022, ComEd line worker Michael Curtis was heading home at the end of his shift and observed an overturned vehicle on fire and had just driven off the road and struck a utility pole. Kane County Sheriff's deputies Ryan Reichardt and Deputy Stephen Tercios were also just arriving on scene. Curtis assisted the deputies while they navigated the downed power lines to rescue the driver who was still stuck inside the vehicle. He then remained on the scene to help deputies Reichardt and Tercios remove the driver shortly before the vehicle was engulfed in flames, ultimately saving the driver's life. straight out of a movie. So we want to recognize today with a formal resolution, ComEd worker Michael Curtis for his valiant efforts to assist our deputies and save that individual from death. And of course, Deputy Ryan Reichart was in field training at that time, so he got indoctrinated by fire, so to speak, literally and figuratively. And we're presenting him with the life-saving award and uniform pin, as well as his field training officer, Deputy Stephen Tercios.
Bad guys.
Thank you for your time.
You. Stuff. Yeah. Encouraging.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I don't, my husband and I grew up. Yeah, we all do wonderful things in the time of crisis, and we forget ourselves and we act for the benefit of mankind, which is quite remarkable. So now we have a couple of motions. May I have a motion and a second to recognize Jose Bosque and Jose Bosque Jr. For their courage to aid a deputy in distress?
Strathman moves.
Okay, second.
Seconds. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fraz,
Raz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Right. Iqbal, yes. I'm gonna have to break
Kenyon?
away because I'm in a Zoom meeting.
Caius,
Yes.
Copey,
Thanks.
Hopi, yes.
Thanks.
Leonard,
Bye.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro.
Shepro abstain.
Okay. Silva. Dr. Silva. Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surgis. Surgis. Tepe,
Absolutely, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicke.
Yes.
It passes.
Very good. May I have a motion and a second to recognize Michael Curtis for his quick actions to save the life of another?
Gums moves.
Gums, Mr. Ford seconds.
Okay.
Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates, Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Fraz,
Raz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Hopi, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Surgeon, I'm sorry, Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro.
Abstain.
Okay. Silva,
Silva, yes.
okay. Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surgis. Tepe,
Deppie, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
That passes.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I believe there are no zoning petitions at this
Correct.
time. Thank you, Mr. Martin. We now have several appointments. Mr. Foz, could you please do the Mill Creek?
Yeah, I have two appointments to positions serving Mill Creek. As you know, Mill Creek is an unincorporated community, so the county board oversees all the services out there. The first one is William Earl, and this is to the Mill Creek Special Service Advisory Body. Bill has extensive knowledge. He actually served on the board previously and was previously our Kane County full-time staffer out there, and he would like to return to the board. So I'm recommending him to the chairman. And the second one is the Mill Creek Water Reclamation District that oversees the sewer, water, and storm system out there. Mark Harmon is a long-term member of that committee, and he would like to be reappointed. He's agreed to be reappointed, so I'm recommending him also.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So I'll move both of those.
Okay, very good. May I have a motion?
Berman, second.
Second, thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Praz,
Praz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Copey,
Hope yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
okay, Surges, Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace, Wallace, Winnicki,
Yes.
it passes.
I'm sorry, Wallace is yes.
Thank you.
Okay, passes. Ms. Molina, could you please present the Kane County Emergency Telephone System Board, the new appointees? Ms. Molina, are you there?
Yes,
Okay,
Madam Chairman, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I'm sorry. What was that?
good morning.
Good morning. Sorry.
Could you please present the Kane County Emergency Telephone System Board, the new members?
Yes, we are requesting to reappoint two members. Michelle Guthrie, she's the Executive Director of KaneCom, and Patrick Collins, he's the Police Chief for Sugar Grove. And a new appointment for the City of Batavia, Police Chief Daniel Ewell. And I make a motion to approve these appointments.
Thank you. Second, please.
Leonard, seconds.
Ms. Bates had her hand up. Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Praz,
Praz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Copey,
Hope yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Mr. Surges, are you there? Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes.
And that passes.
Okay, very good. Mr. Shepherd, I'm going to ask you to do item number 22-154 and 155, please.
That is
Fire Protection District.
a appointment to the Aurora Township Fire Protection District. And Aurora is one of the remaining districts where the fire district trustees are appointed by the county board chair of the county in which they are located, and as opposed to being elected. And I believe, are these reappointments, Madam Chair?
That's correct.
And therefore, I don't know any of them personally, but the Aurora Township Fire District appears to be well-run, and therefore I would move that we concur in the appointments.
Silva,
seconds,
please.
I'm sorry, who's second?
Dr. Silva, seconds, please.
Thank you, Dr. Silva. And the names are Jody Waterman, Melvin Frieders, and Robert Glenn. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Franz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Kopi,
Hope, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Surgis, not here, Tepe, Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes.
That passes.
Very good.
Resolution 22-155 is appointments to the Batavia Township and Countryside Fire District. The Batavia Fire District is what we would call a paper district in that they sign a contract with the City of Batavia Fire Department to provide fire protection services. And these trustees oversee essentially the annual contract with the City of Batavia. And I would therefore move that the board concur in the appointment of Gene Olmsted, Nanette Phillips, and Peter Donat to the Batavia Township and Countryside Fire Protection District Board of Trustees.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Monique seconds.
Let Mr. Brown. Clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Franz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Kopi,
Hope, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
I'm going to pass on Mr. Surgis, Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
That is the end of our appointments. It's time for committee updates. I know Mr. Tepe has something to speak about.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On Thursday, May 19th, in the Public Service Committee meeting at 9 a.m., there will be a presentation by the County Clerk's Office on the voting process. There are several updates to the voting process that they will be going over. In addition to that, they have made some improvements to security as well as improvements to access. So I would urge all of the board members and the public to be there if you can. If not, this will be recorded and will be available. But there are some key changes, such as the implementation of a permanent vote by mail process or listing, and a way to do that. That'll be explained on the 19th. Again, I urge everybody to be there, if not to take a look at the video that'll be made on that date. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other committee reports? I know you've all been very busy the last couple of days, of a month. All right, very good. We're on now to our resolutions and ordinances. Would anybody like to remove an item from the consent agenda? Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 22-156.
Anything else? May I have a motion and a second then to move all items except for item number 22-156?
Raz moves.
Leonard, seconds.
Leonard seconds.
Got it.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Franz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Yes.
Copy,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin, Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Zeppy, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes.
It passes.
All right, now, may I please have a motion and a second to approve item number 22-156?
So moved, Sanchez.
Zeppy seconds.
Mr. Sanchez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to make a few comments, quick comments on this. This is the result of a lot of work done by the American Rescue Plan Committee. All of our conversations, both in meetings and outside, just a lot of deliberation over how to use this money, how to best use this money, I should say. And the product, what you have before you is this overall spending plan. Blair, if you could go to the third page of this, I think it's page 21 in the agenda. It just shows you that now therefore be it resolved for the public. Those are the parts of the resolution that actually tell you what we're going to do at this point. So this is just a spending plan. This is another way to think of it as a statement of our intent of how we want to spend the rest of this money that has been gifted to us by the federal government for the recovery of our economy and of our people because of the pandemic. These are not final authorizations for expenditures, but it's a map and it's a guide for the county board as we go along. So I just want to very briefly describe the categories. Numbers 1 and 2 are combined under government services and payroll reimbursement. So this resolution suggests that the 10.4 million we just recovered from payroll reimbursement for 2021 remains in the savings fund for future uses by the board for easing fiscal constraints and things of that matter. The second part is allocating another 14.6 million towards that for a total of $25 million to be used for government services and any usage we find under payroll reimbursement. The second category is the department requests. This resolution allocates $42 million for department requests. We've gotten those in from all county departments that took a look at the American Rescue Plan Act, saw what was eligible, what could be used to benefit the county, and some of those departments sent in their requests. And our committee went through a process of eliminating some of those, vetting them, deciding which ones we found worthy. And again, these are not final authorizations for any of these department requests, but this is our intent as a committee and suggesting to the board that we look into all of these and fund them in full. Some would look at this from the outside and say, oh, $42 million of 103 million is going to all these departments where they're going to get some gold toilet seats and, you know, new limousines or something like that. And it's just not the case. In fact, about 50% of that section of this money will go towards the community directly. We've got $10 million in mental health projects in here, which includes mental health workforce development, creating a mental health fund, and as well as addressing health equity in minority populations. We've got about $4.8 million in economic recovery and development for tourism and manufacturing industries. There's money for an economic development organization, seed money at least, agriculture and local food recovery, Fox Water Trail, and then $2 million for natural resources, looking at our water, our drinking water, the water sustainability mapping, water monitoring network. And the other half of that is going to our departments for very critical needs, like backlog of felony and domestic violence cases because of COVID, more funding for the Child Advocacy Center and low-income counseling support, updating our cybersecurity infrastructure, broadband study for fiber optic. $800,000 is going to Ride in Kane, a program now managed by the county's Division of Transportation, helping our seniors and disabled get where they need to go. So there's a lot of really good stuff in that section of the spending plan that I'm very proud of, and I look forward to seeing these projects come to fruition because really it's just everything is benefiting the community. And then the rest is just administrative costs and about $11.3 million yet to be determined. And that's just for the committee to make recommendations to the board on what to do with that little section. So we've got some time to consider that. And all that being said, thank you very much for taking so much time, and just very proud of this. A lot of good work went into it. All of our input on the committee, very involved process. So I'm I'm happy to pass this one along.
Are there any other, thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Are there any other comments?
Shepro,
Yes, Mr. Shepro.
I will support this resolution, and I would compliment all the members of the committee for the hard work they put in on this. But I would note that these funds are not a gift of the federal government. These are taxpayer funds that are being returned to us. So that's my comment.
Anybody else?
Copy, please.
Yes, Mr. Copey.
Thank you, Madam Chair, colleagues. If I'm going to humbly decline a yes on the vote in regards to the spending affairs for this bill. And I want to offer some brief explanation if I could. I believe that there were some avenues that we could have followed up on. One in particular was broadband communications. There was never a word spoken in committee in regards to that I know of, and I may be wrong, and I'd be corrected if I am. But and then the other was my understanding of the relief funds was to go directly, what should have been directed mainly to general populace in other affairs that that are directly related to the general population, and especially the needy. Now, it was explained that there were tens of millions earmarked, but when it came down to the child advocacy and things associated with those cases in the state's attorney's office, those numbers seemed like they became negligible. So I'm going to humbly vote no on the bill, and I do appreciate the work. I do appreciate the concerns. A large portion of it is directed correctly, and I just want to make the point. I am not the one to say whether it's correct or incorrect. I just have a personal idea on how it could have been differently directed. That's all I'm saying. But thank you for your time. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Bates.
Madam Chair, I would like to say a special thank you to Chairman Sanchez for all the many hours he has put into refining this and helping the committee get to this point. To Mr. Copey's comments about broadband infrastructure, I was out in Caneville getting a bratwurst at Hills Market, and they were talking about how they can't get internet out there. So I do appreciate the difficulty of broadband out in the rural areas. And I hope we can look at the infrastructure bill. The federal infrastructure bill is part of that is dedicated to broadband. So, and Madam Chair is really good at this. So, so I hope we can do that as well.
It's always nice to see what other person we can get some potential support for our work here in Kane County or entity. Yes, Mr. Frost.
Frost speaking. I would just like to mention and remind everybody that, this was our second tranche of money. Last fall, we concluded the COVID relief funds. And generally speaking, those funds were more external and these were generally more internal. So, there was a direction on how to use this money, and we couldn't send it all externally, even though we did on the second round. So we try and take care of everybody's needs, including our own.
Correct. That's correct. Is there anybody else? Yes.
Madam Chair Gums.
Oh, I'll recognize Ms. Gums.
Oh, thank you. I will be voting yes for this. I did a little marathon of our ARPA committee looking for something in particular. And we did bring up broadband, but I do look forward to that infrastructure thing. Also, I agree that most of, not most of, but we did have to take care of internal requests, and there is an allotment for external community things, which, as you all know, I am in full support of and will keep harping on. So thank you to the chair of ARPA committee for all the hard work and everybody involved in this, but I'll be voting yes.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Bates.
Yes, I'd like to just reiterate that we are hoping the consensus on the ARP committee seems to be that there should be a second tranche of community support grants. So I hope we can move that forward with the to be determined bucket.
Okay, thank you. And if I can make one comment quickly, please. The request from internal support, I have to congratulate all of our department heads for their hard work and careful consideration of how this money can go to support Kane County. As earlier, I spoke about long-term needs. Many of these requests directly address the long-term needs of Kane County. These programs that are going to be initiated, the water study, the broadband study, the economic development studies, Fox River Trail, mental health, et cetera, are not for the next 3 months. This impact, once it gets established and gets going, will impact positively Kane County for decades yet to come. So this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm very proud that the county is working on, to do long-term strategic planning to satisfy the growing needs and continual needs of Kane County's population, to make sure that it's continue to be a wonderful place to live, work, and go to school.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sanchez here. I just wanted to say real quick before we vote on this, to address Mr. Kelpie's concern, there is a broadband study included in the IT department's request. It's a very complex issue. There's a lot of moving pieces to it. And also it was suggested early on by our federal representatives that we look to other federal money for broadband access as much as we can before going to the American Rescue Plan funds. So it was discussed. It's just we're looking at other avenues for that as much as we can. So thank you.
And one more, oh, I'm sorry, but yes.
I'm sorry, just Davis speaking.
Absolutely, Mr. Davis.
Feel compelled, I guess, to point out that as we talk about external and internal, it makes it, the connotation is that the internal is, less service. There's nothing that we do here that isn't in service to or support of over 500,000 people of this county. So while we may deem it to be internal, it is still in the best interest of everyone out there. And it just, I felt the need to.
I completely agree. We are here in service to the people of Kane County. Bottom line. That's it. That's it. And one more question, please. Mr. Sanchez, these internal requests, the committee, and then it's going to be brought forward to the board, is going to be voting on each one of these. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So there'll be plenty of time for everybody to weigh in on each one of these opportunities. No discussion. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Ellen.
Allen, aye.
Bates.
It's aye.
Berman.
Berman, yes.
Brown.
Brown, yes.
Davis.
Davis, yes.
Ford.
Ford, yes.
Fraz.
Fraz, yes.
Gums.
Gums, yes.
Iqbal.
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Caius.
Caius, yes.
Hopi.
Hopi, no.
Leonard.
Leonard, yes.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Martin.
Martin, yes.
Molina.
Molina, yes.
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro. Shepro. Okay. Silva.
Silva, yes.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
Shepro, yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shepro. Surgis, did you arrive? Come back. Tepe.
Happy, yes.
Wallace.
Yes.
Winnicki.
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
May I have a motion and a second to approve item number 22-197?
Sanchez moves.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez.
And in seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Kenyon. Any discussion? None? Clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Franz,
Franz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie.
Opie, no.
That's a no.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Thank you. Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Pepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes.
That passes.
Passes. May I have a motion and a second to approve item number 22-198?
Bates moves.
Bates,
A second.
Caius. Any questions, thoughts on this discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Franz,
Franz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro.
Present.
All right, Silva.
Yes.
Silva? Okay, thank you. Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Pepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes. May I please have a motion and a second to approve item number 22-199?
Wonicky moves.
Ms. Winnicki,
Davis, second.
thank you, Mr. Davis. Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Franz,
Franz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro.
Present.
All right. Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Pepe, yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
and Winnicki.
Yes.
That passes.
Passes, thank you. Last one, items number 22-200.
Yes.
Sanchez moves.
Thank you, Mr.
Berman,
Sanchez.
second.
2 seconds, please.
Berman.
Mr. Berman, thank you.
Mhm.
Any discussion on this item? Clerk, please call the roll.
Allen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Franz, yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Caius, yes.
Opie,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro.
No.
Okay, Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Tepe,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicki.
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
Motion passes. That brings us to a close of our open session temporarily.
Point of order, ma'am.
I'm sorry,
Motion, please. Point
Mr.
of
Copey,
order.
yes.
I apologize. I believe I made a mistake on 197. I had mistaken it for a different resolution. If I could convert my no vote to a yes, is that possible without going through a motion to reconsider?
I can change it to a yes.
That's
Thank you very
confirmed.
much.
Okay, you're
I
welcome.
apologize.
So for 22-197, Copey votes yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, that is unanimous.
Okay.
May I make a parliamentary inquiry, Shepro?
Yes, Mr. Shepro.
Mr. Sturgis, I believe, was in attendance at the meeting and participated until his internet went down. So I would ask unanimous consent that Mr. Sturgis could supplement the minutes of the meeting with appropriate votes, since he was present during the discussion, if he so certifies.
I'm sorry that you have to be here present or online to vote. Otherwise, we are voting on
Well, you
behalf
would
of
have to certify that he was online, but that he couldn't get his voice heard. All right, fine. I'll withdraw it.
very much. All right, you ready? May I have a motion and a second to discuss and potentially approve? No, wait a minute, my apologies,
We have to
wrong
go into
page,
closed
wrong
section.
page. We're going into closed session.
So moved.
No, seconds. Let me finish, please.
Sorry.
To discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee and for the purpose of pending litigation.
Bates moves.
Bates.
Rathman seconds.
Thank you, thank you. Clerk, please. Bates and Strathman, second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Okay. Ellen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Fraz,
Yes.
Gums,
Gums, yes.
Iqbal,
Iqbal, yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Nice, yes.
Copey,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Martin, yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Rathman,
Rathman, yes.
Silva. I missed
Silva,
you.
yes.
I'm sorry, I mixed you two up there. Tepe,
Tepe, yes.
There you go.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicky.
Yes.
That passes.
Okay, very good. We are now in closed session. Concession clerk, please call the roll.
I want to go all.
Roll call. Ellen,
Allen, present.
Bates,
Bates here.
Berman,
Berman's here.
Brown,
Brown here.
Davis,
Davis here.
Ford, Fraz,
Here.
Gums. Gums, are you present? Iqbal. Kenyon,
I am here.
Caius. Caius, oh, he's not here.
We lost him.
Copey,
Opie's present.
okay, Leonard,
Leonard here.
Lewis, Martin,
Present.
Molina.
Here.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, present.
Shepro.
Shepro, present.
Okay, Silva,
Silva is here.
Strathman. Sturgis is not. Tepe,
Tepe here.
Bliss. Winnicky.
Present.
Okay, you have a quorum. Oh, Caius is here.
He's back in. All right, we're almost done. May I have a motion and a second to approve the settlement in case number 16 WC 18646 in the amount of $20,571.37.
Bates moves.
Bates,
Second.
Maya seconds. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Allen, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes.
Ford,
Ford, yes.
Fraz, Gums, Iqbal, Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Nice, yes.
Copey,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina. Molina? Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman, Tepe,
That'd be yes.
and Winnicke.
Yes.
Passes.
Wallace is yes also.
Oh, thank you.
Molina was yes.
Lena also, thank you.
Very good. One more to go, everybody, so just stay online. May I have a motion and a second to settle of a settlement in case number 16WC 27595 in the amount of $29,851.90.
Sanchez moves.
Alan moves.
Sanchez and Alan seconds.
Fine, thank you.
Okay, very good. Clerk, any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Ellen,
Alan, I.
Bates,
Bates, aye.
Berman,
Berman, yes.
Brown,
Brown, yes.
Davis,
Davis, yes,
Ford,
Ford, yes.
reluctantly.
Yes.
Gums,
Gums is reconnected. I'm familiar with both. Yes.
okay. Iqbal, Kenyon,
Yes.
Caius,
Nice, yes.
Kopey,
Opie, yes.
Leonard,
Leonard, yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Molina,
Molina, yes.
Sanchez,
Sanchez, yes.
Shepro,
Shepro, yes.
Silva,
Silva, yes.
Strathman. Surgeon's not here. Tepe,
That'd be yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Winnicke.
Yes.
And that passes.
Very good. This meeting is going to be adjourned until a special county board meeting to be held on May 18th, 2022. May I have a motion and a second to adjourn?
Madam Chair, Gums,
Yes, Ms. Gums.
can you record me as a yes on the first settlement, please?
Yes,
First
Thank you.
settlement for Gums, correct?
correct.
Yes,
WC
Okay.
18,
Yep.
648.
Got it.
Thank you.
Second.
I believe it's at 3:30. We'll send out a notice to confirm.
I have it at 3:30.
Before I ask that we adjourn, this is National Nurses Week, 6th to the 12th.
And we have to honor our nurses.
Yes.
I think.
So if we're lucky enough to be married to one.
Did you have something else, Doctor?
Oh, motion to adjourn.
Oh, second.
Second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right.